We are a group of women dedicated to promoting volunteerism, developing the potential of women, and improving our community through the effective action and leadership of volunteers. We are trained to meet our community's most pressing needs. We are the Junior League of Santa Barbara, proudly serving our community for 95 years. In 1901, the first ever Junior League was founded by Mary Harriman Rumsey in New York City, an 18-year-old woman who was inspired to improve living and working conditions in immigrant neighborhoods. Harriman's community-focused efforts were soon emulated, and by 1921, 30 leagues joined to form the Association of Junior Leagues International. Just a few short years later, on January 2, 1925, a group of 85 women started the Junior League of Santa Barbara, the second junior league in California. These women got right to work, supporting Santa Barbara residents in the aftermath of the 1925 earthquake, and in opening Sunshine Cottage, a facility for youth at risk of developing and suffering from the effects of tuberculosis. League members spent the next several years ensuring successful operations, and were even able to pay off the mortgage despite the Great Depression. Santa Barbara's vulnerable populations now had an ally in the Junior League. In the 30s, the JLSB began holding a number of fundraisers to support its projects, including their first ever rummage sale, an event that continues to serve our community with like-new items at heavily discounted prices. Organizing such fundraisers provides members hands-on training and leadership opportunities as they organize every aspect and detail. Throughout World War II, the League focused on supporting families through service and partnership with community nonprofits, including Visiting Nurse Association and the Red Cross. They also ran errands for the bedridden at Hoff Army Hospital, sold war bonds, and cared for the children of servicemen and women. Post-war, there was a renewed determination to build a better community. We partnered with the City Recreation and Park Commission to open Camp Conestoga, a free recreation program to help combat juvenile delinquency while teaching life skills and appreciation for the natural world. Throughout the 1950s, League members took seats on local nonprofit boards and helped to establish the Welfare Planning Council, aimed at preventing duplication of agency function, investigating new needs, and coordinating the activities of existing agencies. The League also helped to open La Mirada, a residence for troubled teenage girls. In the 60s, we partnered with the local school district and the State Department of Social Welfare to support at-risk youth and co-sponsored the Young People's Art Program and Children's Center creative workshops with the Santa Barbara Museum of Art. At the close of the decade, the disastrous oil spill in the Santa Barbara Channel urged the League to become more involved in environmental issues, with an emphasis on education. Our support of hands-on learning extended to the Santa Barbara Zoo, where we were instrumental in opening an elementary environmental education project in the early 70s that was aimed at teaching children about the wondrous world of nature and the importance of preservation. Around the same time, State Public Affairs Committee was formed, giving the JLSB a channel to support legislation at the state level. The 80s were marked by continued projects to support youth and families, specifically in areas of head trauma recovery, affordable quality childcare, and alcohol abuse prevention. In the 90s, we dedicated significant efforts towards supporting domestic violence survivors. We opened Sark Cottage, an alternative to the emergency room or police station for children and adults who have been sexually abused. We also sponsored the Domestic Violence Emergency Response Team. This is also when the League formalized our annual Community Assistance Funds program, which has now collectively granted more than $50,000 to nonprofits aligned with our mission and focus area. The new millennium brought continued work for at-risk children with numerous pediatric health-focused initiatives, including partnerships with Cottage Hospital and blood and bone marrow drives. We made a mark on youth literacy with projects at the East Side Children's Library and the Downtown Children's Library. Our current work in facilitating the opening of our county's first therapeutic rehabilitative shelter for young female survivors of sexual exploitation and trafficking, as well as our awareness campaign, Traffic Stop, will help bring an end to sex trafficking in our own backyard. For nearly 100 years, we've upheld the mission of the Junior League, preparing women to serve their community and equipping them with the skills they need in their personal and professional lives, and in civic leadership roles. Because tomorrow there will be new issues and new challenges, and the women of the Junior League will continue to serve as the undeterred voices for action, justice, and change. Join us in the next century of service to our community.